There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our yin practice. We have a full hour of yummy yin. I know yesterday was Earth Day, but we're going to be celebrating it in our yin practice today. Most of the poses that I've picked are either connected to the earth or the animals of the earth. So I can walk us through that. But I'm going to get you to start. If you're just coming in, you're going to need blocks, a blanket. If you have a bolster, not needed, but blocks are certainly going to be very, very helpful. But I'm going to get you to start by lying on your back. Now you can bring your feet, each heel to the outside corner of your mat and let your feet just fall away from one another. Bring your arms down along your side. But perhaps if you've been at a desk and you're feeling your back has a little bit of tension, keeping the knees bent might be a good way to start and then get that invitation to go long, right? So arms are by your side. Yin is a very, very gentle practice. It's a practice where we succumb and we wait for time to take us to the next level, shall we say? I don't even want to say level, but to the next maybe opening within our muscles and our body. So it's going to get us past the muscles into our fascia and into our connective tissues. So let's just do a small little short body scan. So start at the top of your head. And what is that feeling? Can you soften your eyes and soften your jaw? Maybe wiggle your jaw side to side just as we're coming to this practice. Take a nice big inhale all the way through your nose. Exhale, let everything go. So on your next inhale, inhale nice cleansing. Think of our planet as clean, not a piece of litter around. Exhale, let all the garbage go. It disintegrates, it's gone. And feel your connection to the ground. So on your back, your upper back, your buttocks, your feet, your ankles, the heels. Feel the connection. Get nice and heavy and know that for the next hour, you're just giving to yourself for yourself. And when we give to ourselves, the ability to give to others is that much stronger. Let's take a few more breaths. Maybe roll your shoulders a little further away from your ears. Take another nice big inhale and another exhale. And now let's just breathe. Let your natural breath come. Now on each day, our breaths might be a little bit different. Some days we might be struggling with a little bit of a head cold. So our breath might be a bit shallow, but maybe just taking that time to say, can we find a little bit more depth there? Slowing everything down. Our thoughts, our breath. So we're going to be holding our shapes today from 3 to 5 minutes. So we're going to go a little longer on some of our holds than we've normally done. I'm also going to introduce a concept of pinnacle in between some of the poses. Paul Greeley, he's an American yoga teacher that kind of led the way for yin to be what it is now. He says between poses, this pinnacle pose of just coming into kind of like a star and letting our bodies, relish and take in what we've just put them through. So we're going to experience that a couple of times today too. Right, on your next inhale, bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a little hug. Give yourself a hug for kindness. And then we're going to roll over just a little bit. You're going to grab your blocks. We're going to go into supported fish. So you're going to make a T with your blocks. So the long one is going to come right behind our back. And then you can bring either the block, the one that's going to be on your head, up to its higher level, but never like really high, not vertical, horizontally high and stuff. But I want you to feel what that's going to feel like. So I want you to wiggle back down and bring that lower block, the long block, in under your, like the back of your rib cages, and then play with your upper block. Now, if you have your hair in a ponytail, it should either go to the top of your head or way down your neck. Now, if you do have a bolster or a blanket, you can bring the bolster and or blanket to rest behind your knees. Our arms are going to come along outside, so open them up like a T. And now you're a fish. You're in nice warm waters, though. You're not in the Arctic cold, even though we need the Arctic. We're going to get nice and warm. And here we are in our fish. And we are opening up our chest, opening up our spine. Shoulders are getting some love. Again, just close your eyes. And the wonderful part of Yin is the time that we take. Time is our friend here, and it's where we go from muscles to fascia, the connective tissues that hold everything together. So feel free to drift. But you want to drift and stay present. So sometimes just a mantra of breathing in and I'm breathing out. Or anything that serves you, anything that connects with you today. Yeah. Let your fingers just fall naturally where they want to fall. Perhaps they'll curve towards your palms. And as we're here for time, we want to take the inhales and the exhales. Want them to be quiet breaths. So I want to inhale, fill your whole lungs. Exhale nice and slow. Maybe you're imagining one of the beautiful ocean waves coming in and going back out. So we talked about time in Yin and holding the pose is stillness. So finding the spot where we can hold and be still. Be still physically, be still mentally. Feel your body rise and fall, your belly, with each breath. Your legs are heavy. Your chest is heavy. You're giving in. Knowing the blocks are going to support you, you can let go. And slowly start to bring your awareness back to my voice. And we're just going to roll over to one side, doesn't matter what side, to be able to move the blocks out of the way. Keep one block close by. Move the blanket from your knees. Come back to the back of your mat. Your back's on your mat. Bend your knees and sink in for a couple of breaths. Now bring your knees into your chest and lift your legs up towards the sky. And then using the core muscles that we've developed together, bring that block underneath your lower back. We're coming up into a waterfall. So you can have your legs right up a wall if you're at home and you have a wall accessible. Now let's take our blanket and just drape it over our belly. Legs up the wall, super, super, super restorative, super powerful. Arms can be any way you like, but generally we like to bring them down along our side and let the palms and the wrists fall, whichever way they like to fall. If they want to stay connected, fingertips touching the earth, or maybe you want to roll them out. Let the back of the hands kiss the ground. Now you may find that you sway a little bit when you first come into your waterfall. That's okay. That's our body reacting to this inversion. And then just see if you can find that stillness. So soften your toes, your ankles. They're going to hang up there, nice and safe. And that block is down. It's not on your lower back. It's not on your spine. It's down on your sit bones, down by your sacrum. Make sure our shoulders, you're rolling your shoulders down to the ground and let them fall away from your body. And we go back to our breath, our beautiful inhales and our beautiful exhales. I put waterfall in for our Earth Day practice. Got so many beautiful waterfalls on our planet. We want them to continue to flow, just like we want us to continue to flow and to grow and be strong. Waterfall is really good if you have a headache. They say it supports the getting rid of headaches, letting that blood flow the opposite direction. As I've said before, it lowers blood pressure, reduces anxiety. Super, super, super restorative. And now we can remove the blanket, keep it close by. Let's bend the left leg and the left knee. Bring that sole of the foot down to the ground. Bend your right, bring that sole down. Press into your feet just enough to remove the block. Now let's try our first pentacle. So come down into what we know as Shavasana. So arms along this out to the side, legs coming out. So it's a mini Shavasana right in the middle of a practice. Gives our body and our mind time to absorb the benefits of waterfall and our supported fish. And just slowly wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then we're going to get set up for our next pose, which is going to be lying butterfly. Yin is coming from the ground down. So you're going to need 2 blocks. Also want to maybe take your blanket this time and use it as a pillow, but we don't want it really high. And so maybe fold it just twice over. So bring yourself back down, grab your blocks. Both feet are down onto the ground, knees are bent. Now you're going to bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees fall away from one another. Once they're where they are and you're feeling a little bit of an edge and you're not pushing too far, remember, we want our body to invite us to the next level. Take your blocks and just kind of put them in underneath your knee, your thigh, your calf, or both, just so you have that spot to really bring the ground up so you can give in. Now bring your arms outside to cactus arms. So have a little chest opener, shoulder opener, hip, groin. Yes, a win, 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 win. Gonna hold this nice and long. So before we get right into it, find that diamond shape of your legs where you're going to be able to hold it without clenching anything. So I don't want you to do that. If it has to come up and you want to put the blocks a little higher to support it, find your breath. And maybe now we want to visualize the beautiful butterflies that fly throughout our planet. Right now, they might be starting their migration, the monarchs might be starting their migration back home. Maybe you've been to a butterfly garden. Bring yourself back there. We hold a lot of tension in our hips, a lot of stress, a lot of anguish. So, and we sit a lot. So, really taking this nice long yin hold. Butterflies accessible to many people. So, butterfly can be held 10 minutes or longer. We just don't have that time today. So, if you're quite comfortable where you are, but if you think your body's invited you to go a little deeper, maybe move the blocks just a little bit to see if you've got a little bit of space, if you've been granted that. And let's bring our arms down by our thighs. Remove the blocks nice and slow. Bring your fingertips just alongside your thighs and just gently, gently, gently use your fingers to guide your legs, your knees back up. And let's go back to that mini Shavasana. So take the legs, each heel to the outside corner of your mat. Bring your arms down alongside your body. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of pulsation somewhere in your body. Could be the inner groin, could be the inner thighs, your adductors. Maybe it's your shoulders. And slowly bring your knees back into your chest. Rock over to one side. Using one hand, you're going to bring yourself up. And we're going to go into a 90-90. So you can keep that front knee in line. And then you're going to bring your back leg in line. So your feet are stacked. You're going to bring two blocks and your blanket. So you're going to take your blanket first and you're going to wrap it across your back. So open it up. Make it a little shawl. All right, like that. So we're going to have the blocks, and the blocks are going to be at different angles. So we're into that 90-90 position. We're going to start to rock forward. So just walk your hands slowly forward. Goal is somewhat to keep your sit. I'm going to take the blanket off so you can see where my legs are. And I'll move my blocks. Okay, so 90-90. The goal is to slowly walk forward, but it's to keep the sit bones down. We're doing an internal, external rotation of the hips, right? So you can maybe just bring your block a little bit to the front, and you're going to bend and drop your head softly onto your blocks. You can stack your hands on top, whatever level is good for you. Now, if you're feeling any pain is not good, right? We're not here for pain. In a 90-90, feel free to roll back on your back and do a figure 4. That might be a little bit more accessible, and what they call that a sleeping swan. Right? But it's not about getting down to the ground. It's about holding it here. Okay, so we're going to hold it just for a minute in the front, and then we're going to take it over towards the front side twist. So keep your body nice and comfortable. Keep your breath nice. So we have to do deer pose on Earth Day, right? We have some beautiful deer in our forests. Not just deer, we want all those animals, the caribou, the buffalo, the moose, all to be healthy and plentiful. Stay with your breath. Okay, just bring yourself up, just slowly, slowly, slowly. Now I'm going to invite you, you can stay exactly there, or we can move to a twist. So bring the blocks over to the front side of that front knee. And all we're going to do is use the block to bring our hand on top and twist so that we can actually find the earth. Now, I don't want to collapse my spine, but I want to be able to let go. Right? So feel what feels right for you. And sometimes when we transition, that's a really good time to check in. So, are you holding tension somewhere? Your jaw, your head, your neck. We've got a spinal twist going on here with that internal and external rotation. Lots going on in our body. Very passive, but very powerful. All right, we're going to untwist out of that nice and slow, slow, slow. I want you to use your hands, both arms and hands, bring the legs to the front. Let them go nice and long. Find your sit bones. All right, we're going to go into caterpillars. So you're going to want your blocks, a couple things. So first, you can take your blanket off your back and just give it a little roll, short roll, or roll your mat up and then just come and sit on it. And that's just going to take your hips up just a tiny, tiny bit for us to be able to go into a nice forward fold. So legs are in line with your spine. I have my blocks straddled between my knees. I'm going to bring my arms up to the sky just for a minute. And then I want you to think about your chest coming forward. So bring your chest forward. It's going to be a big back bend, but I want you to lead with your chest and not your chin. And then let the hands just fall to the ground. Wherever you're at, bring that block, whatever. You can stack your hands if you want to on top of one another and settle in. So a nice big stretch for the lower back. And again, we want to get past those back muscles. Really loosen up deep into our connective tissues. So you might feel this a little bit in the hamstrings as well, the muscles behind the back of our leg. So if it's a little intense, feel free to keep the legs a little soft. When we're working with the back, we want to be careful. We want to be cognizant and respectful of its range and its motion, or its range of motion. So we don't want to go right deep into it. Forcing it's not going to help it. Are your toes soft? Are your ankles soft? Maybe you're invited to go a little deeper, but it might be just like a centimeter. You might just move the block a little bit. Maybe your hands come on the top of the block now. And slowly, slowly, slowly start to lift your body. Slowly bring it up. Bring your hands behind your body. Bend your knees, maybe a little wider. Sit back like you're on a beach. Feel the warmth of the beach and the warmth of the sun. Take a few breaths. All right, we're going to remove the blanket from our hips if we have it there. We're going to bring the blocks away for a second, and we're going to set up our 90-90 on the other side. So opposite leg comes in front, long opposite foot comes back, and then we bring the blocks to the front. You can bring your blanket to drape over your body again, like a shawl. Walk your hands forward. Now, each side of our body is going to be different, right? Totally different. So respect it. Maybe you just got to walk it so carefully, carefully, carefully. Maybe you're staying up on your fingertips. Maybe you're bringing your blocks nice and high and dropping down. Wherever you find yourself, find your stillness. Find that edge, find your stillness, and then we'll find the time to invest. Take 2 more nice breaths here. Then walk yourself up or stay there. I'm sorry, I should have said if you're quite content where you are, stay there. Otherwise, we're going to go over to the side to do that twist. So one hand behind, maybe 2 blocks stacked, and we twist over the shoulder. Still trying to keep the center of your body and your sit bones connected to the ground, connected to the earth. So getting a little spinal twist while we open up our hips. And if you're invited to go a little deeper into your twist, don't feel you have to. Invitations are invitations. It's all right for us to say no, thank you. And then move very slowly and right after that. Use your hands to bring your legs forward. We're going to go back into little beach pose. So bring the hands behind, feet connected back down to the ground. Take a couple of breaths. All right, let's kick both feet behind. We're going to come onto all fours. We're moving into a melting heart. So melting heart is similar to child's pose, but it's not child's pose. But we're going to start. I will take us there into a child's pose. So bring your glutes down to your ankles. Walk your hands forward. Drop your forearms down to the ground. Now lift the hips up. So my hips are up. Now, if it's comfortable, you want to touch the toes or you want the back of your feet aligned, entirely up to you. Now you can grab a block, and keeping those hips up, you're going to melt your heart down to the ground. So you can drop your head down. You can also bring your blanket over your block to drop your head onto your block. And here we want to continue to melt the heart down to the ground with each breath, creating lots of space. This is another good one if you have a headache. Grab your blanket, melt your heart, find the opening. And if you find it a little too intense for your shoulders at any point, just move your arms maybe a little bit forward or back. Feel it first. Take one more breath. Slowly use your hands to push yourself back to child's pose. Sink down for one breath. Now we're going to transition to half frogs. We're going to do half frog on the left and half frog on the right. How can you have an Earth Day practice without having frogs involved, right? Too valuable. All right, so here we are into our child's pose. Let's transition. So come up into a tabletop. Let's take the right leg nice and long and then bring the left leg out to a 90 degrees and sink down into the ground. Stack your hands on top of one another. Bring your elbows out to the side and sink. Another big opener for our hips. And slowly slide that leg back in line with the other one. And we'll transition right to the other side. So drag your opposite foot up. And you can bring your cheek down to the side. You can bring your forehead on top, whatever feels good for you. Take one more breath. And then take that leg nice and long, let it join. Bring both arms down alongside your body with your palms up. Whatever way intuitively you want to bring whatever shoulders and press yourself back to a child's pose. Just for a second. All right, I'm on the long edge of my mat, as you should be. So I want you to turn sideways on so that you're on the long edge, and we're going to go into full frog. So I'm going to show you backwards. Here's a view for you. Here we go. So we want the knees out. You're a frog, right? Knees out. You can bring your bolster, your block, or your blanket, and you're going to come forward. But those hips are staying up and back. Does that make sense? Give it a try. If that's not going to work with you, go right back into a child's pose, but a wide knee child's pose. So stay on the wide edge, bring your toes together. We're not going to be staying long in this. So bring your toes together if that's too much into the child's pose, into your frog. Otherwise, come on up and sink through the hips. It is a big, wonderful, juicy stretch for the inner thighs, groin, and hip flexors. But breathe, right? We're not holding any tension. Couple more breaths. And if you're in the frog, walk your hands back, walk your glutes back to your heels, and come kind of upward because we got to work our way back to the long part of our mat. What I want you to do first is grab your blanket or your bolster. And if you have a blanket, you're going to roll it longwise. So it's long like a tube. And if you do have a bolster, you can use that. And we're going to go sleeping snails. Yes. All right, let me get us down into a sleeping snail. So we're coming right down onto our body, onto our belly. Legs are coming long. Now your bolster or your blanket is going to come under your armpits, right? Kind of at your chest, but under the armpits. Arms are coming out, kind of like Sphinx pose or seal pose. Then we're going to bend the knees, bring the feet together. Oops, we need a block. And you're going to bring your head onto a block. And you're going to sleep like a snail, nice and warm. And breathe. Get nice and heavy. These microphones are wonderful, but not when I've got the block. If you're lifting your lower back, you're going to heel point. If you keep the legs all the way down, and maybe just tighten up. Armpits are heavy, chest is heavy, arms are heavy. Really sink into your blanket. Sink into your bolster, your blanket. Let it into your arms. Couldn't you just be a snail forever? Take one more breath and just start to slowly lower the legs. And while we're here, it's a perfect opportunity to go into a chest opener. So we're going to bring our right arm nice and long into a T alongside our body. And then using your left hand, I want you to just push up and over. Now my shoulder is staying on the blanket, on the bolster. So just push over a little bit. We're not going to hold this long, but we're here. We might as well utilize the time and the space. Take another breath. And then let's roll back onto our belly. Take the left arm nice and long. Make sure your shoulder is on your bolster, your blanket. Use your right hand, press up and press over. Oh, yeah. Like little scorpions. And come on back onto your belly. Press into your hands and press yourself back up. Just for a second, one little stretch into your child's pose. And come on back up. We're going to go down onto our backs, onto the ground. So bring your blanket close by. Won't need those blocks. You can move them out of your way. Coming down onto our back. I'm going to realign our back. We just put it through quite a bit between caterpillar and waterfall and the fish. So hug your knees into your chest and give yourself a nice hug. So this is in Yin, referred to as reclined child's pose. So you can hug those knees in underneath your thighs, or you can interlace your fingers across. Now, before you get too settled in, get your blanket and cover your legs with it. You have to kick it all back out and hug those knees in and breathe. Really nice for the spine, realigns our back. Make sure your cervical spine, so your neck, your chin is not pointing up, up, up to the ceiling, nor is it tucked. It's nice and neutral. Take a few more breaths here. And now see what it feels like to bring the legs a little bit apart, but trying to bring the knees up towards the shoulders. So each knee toward the shoulder. Whatever your feet want to do, my toes want to stay touching each other. And breathe. Let the legs get heavy against your chest, against your belly. And then bring the knees back in line with your hips. We're going to move the blanket off. We're going to keep the knees bent and bring both feet down to the ground. I said you wouldn't need your block. You might need your block. Bring your arms out into a T. So walk your feet together and knees together. Bring your arms out into a T. Take a nice big inhale and drop both knees over to the right. Now we want to keep our shoulders connected to the ground, connected to the earth. So if the bottom knee doesn't come all the way down, slide a block under that. Other thing we can do is if we feel that we're holding a lot of tension between our legs, let's bring the block between the knees. Maybe you'll notice that once it's between the knees, they fall a little bit more, a little deeper towards the ground. Now take your gaze to look over your left shoulder and really sink into this beautiful spinal twist. Get heavy. Start to succumb, surrender, and to melt. And if you're using the block, we'll just move the block out of the way and stay exactly where you are for a couple more breaths. And slowly start to bring the knees back up towards the sky. Maybe bring your block in your other hand, but bring your feet together, knees together. Take a nice big inhale. Drop both knees to the left. Go slow, let gravity work for you. Again, block can come underneath or between the knees. Take your gaze to look over to the right. Let everything soften. Let everything melt. Let everything go. Really surrender for this last few breaths. Remove the block. Stay there for a couple of breaths. And slowly bring the knees back up towards the sky. Hug both knees into your chest. Let your feet fall. Let your belly fall and your shoulders. And slowly take your left leg nice and long. Bring that outside heel to the outside corner of your mat. Bring your right leg nice and long, bringing that heel to the outside corner. Let your feet fall away from one another. Grab your blanket. Cocoon yourself, warm yourself, wrap yourself. Bring your arms along your side. If you have a bolster, if you want your blocks underneath your knees, feel free to do that. And then here, truly, truly, truly melt. Let everything go. Surrender and give in. We'll have a few moments of silence and I'll bring you back. So just continue to get heavy, to sink, and to melt. Begin to bring your thoughts to the outside of your house. Take your thoughts up to the sky. Visualize you're up over your house. You're over the city in which you live. You're overtop the province to which you live. And see all the wonderful parts of your province. And then go even further higher up. See your beautiful country. The trees, the mountains, the streams, the creeks, the hills and the valleys. All the animals. Then go further past your country into your continent. Once there, go even higher. You can see the entire planet as if you're way out in outer space looking in. You can see it healthy, it's green, it's blue. The clouds, the sun, the moon, everything working as it should. You see all the people taking care of our beautiful planet. Slowly reverse and bring yourself back to your continent, to our country, beautiful Canada, to our province, to your city, and to your home. Take a nice big stretch, maybe a stretch and a yawn. Roll over to one side, bring yourself into that little fetal position, using your biceps as a little pillow. And when you're ready, and only if you're ready, press into that top hand, bring yourself up to sitting. Nice. Let's take our hands all the way up to a beautiful sky, up into the stars. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking our Earth Day journey with me. You are part of my planet and my world and my Earth. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.